That's why guys do roofs.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
Jared.
I had to speed through that one because...
A real line from the movie.
That's why guys do roofs.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're back with part 2 of our scene by scene breakdown of The Secret Date or Dream 2020 flick with Josh Lucas and Jerry O'Connell and Katie Holmes in the lead there.
Yep.
We left off again. Bray Johnson here is integrated his way into Miranda Wells's life. She's got 3 kids. Mountain of debt. Hurricanes just destroyed her home, blocked her car. She's kind of dating Jerry O'Connell character Tucker here.
Yep.
He's all in. Restaurateur. And Bray is just like a walking Buddha, just trying to get some.
Well, that's cool. Right.
But way less cool.
Yep. And did you already say Bobby Wells?
Oh, yeah. We got Bobby Wells, shortstop for the Toronto Blue Jays. She's coming in hot and just kind of shitting on Miranda's life choices.
Yeah. Like mother-in-laws tend to do.
Yeah. Because, you know.
Not that my mother-in-law would do that. If you're listening.
No. I've met your mother-in-law. Lovely lady.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty good.
Yeah, we last left off. We're thinking that Bray has a girlfriend. At least that's what the movie's trying to push on us.
Yep.
He doesn't. It's his sister. Spoilers. But he's doing work on the house and helping Miranda get back up on her 2 feet.
Yep. Basically. And trying to figure out what the universe is trying to tell him about Miranda and why they're connected. Which he knows.
Yes.
Which he already knows. So I don't understand.
I don't understand why because he's the one who's philosophized. Anyways.
Yeah. He's belaboring it.
So we're at Nana's house because the kids are going to stay there because of the repairs being done to the house, black mold. Yep. Pretty obvious. Mm-hmm. And we arrive in Nana's neighborhood, and the kids are basically just shitting on old people. Why are there no kids around here? She's like,
where are all the kids?
They all grew old, and this is it.
Well, it's mostly adults here, sweetie.
They all float down here.
We have golf and swimming and gazebos.
Puzzle making, bingo.
And then I love the kids like, Bessie's like, what's a gazebo? And Missy's like, it's a place where weird old people sit around and complain about their knees and stuff. You know,
great line. Yeah. These kids are ruthless to Nana. Yeah. So we're back at the construction site, Miranda's house, and Tuck shows up. Mm-hmm. He pulls up and he's like, who's this guy working on my lady's roof?
Oh, you must be Pizza Tucker.
Hey, get your hands off my lady's roof. So Broof, Bray is up on the roof.
Roof?
Hey, my name's Broof.
I mean, that's about his real name as Bray is. So.
Know, right? So he's up on the roof working with the chainsaw, and Tucker's like, hey, and he's like, I can't hear you, man. I'm up here on the roof with the chainsaw.
Come on up. Bring me some stuff.
I love how he's like, Tucker's like, hey, how do you know Miranda? He's like, I don't really.
Why are you fixing a roof? Good question.
Yeah.
It's literally what he says.
Oh my God, Bray! Can you not see like your naivety, your over laid back philosophy here is just kind of like would be annoying to the normal human being who's like,
yes.
Can you give me a straight answer, please?
So annoying. And then Tucker's like, oh, I can help. And he's like, okay, bring these things up on the ladder.
Huh.
So he goes up and he's like, heck of a view up here. And that's when you get, that's why guys do roofs. Like what? And then basically like talks about how he wishes Miranda would have hired a real roofer. Not that you're a real, not a real roofer.
Yeah. He's like, no offense taken. Okay.
And then they get a little backstory of like, well, we started working together a year after Daddy died, and we're both very cautious people, and so like I haven't pushed on the relationship. And Bray's like, well, things can change if you want them to.
Oh,
and Tucker's like, you know what? I will leave. Thanks.
Yeah, I will.
Like right after he offered to help. And then he leaves.
Right. He just leaves.
Then he just walks away. Yeah.
I will say though, like so Tuck isn't a bad guy. He's not a bad guy.
No, he seems normal.
Yeah, he's
a family.
That's a family. But he's like a little disconnected. Like I think because he comes from money, he thinks that money can just fix everything, which spoilers. I mean,
it can most things.
It can. I mean, it really can. But he's like a little disconnected there with that, right? He just thinks like, oh, I can shower you with gifts and do these things, and that's a better life. which it definitely would be, but whatever, because bumper stickers.
Yep.
So then we're at Nana's house, and we're we're doing puzzle
Nana,
time.
why do people do puzzles?
Because old people.
Greg goes, they don't. And Nana's like, this isn't prison.
Oh my God.
It's pretty fun. So then she goes and bugs Miranda more about selling the house, right?
Yeah, I've been in real estate for 40 years. You could sell the house. I was like, well, could you though?
What do you know about real estate right now?
Yeah. And then we got Miranda diving right into the wine. And she's like, yeah, we both know the house is a teardown, right? And I love Miranda's reaction to this when she says that. And Miranda just like literally just stares at her and just like a glass of wine comes up out of like bottom screen, goes right to her mouth.
Yep.
And then we get the phone call from the trailer. Just as she walks outside of the, the old people's complex. She's on the street there. She gives Bray
kind of like a split screen between the construction site and with Miranda, right?
Yeah, we're cutting back and forth, and Bray gives an update. And he's like, I think I got most of this thing done, blah, 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 blah. She's like, oh, that's great. And then she's kind of like, hey, what you doing right now? And he's like, I'm just sitting on the roof watching the sunset.
Yeah, what are you doing? She's like, stressing.
Yeah. About life, kids, job, Tucker, house. She's just naming objects at this point.
Bills.
Yeah, bills.
Mailbox.
Mailbox. Naming nouns, proper nouns, ponies, art.
And so then we get more Bray backstory. He's like, well, I had a divorce 10 years ago, and we wanted to wait till we started a family till we were a little more stable, and then she just decided to start a family with someone else. And I was devastated and angry, and I was blaming everything on everybody. And she's like, that doesn't sound like you. I was like, you don't know anything about this person. You met him a day ago.
Yep. Like the day of the storm.
That doesn't sound like you. And he's like, well, before another kind of wake up call. And then he could have just said, in that plane crash I was in with your husband.
Right.
But instead he says, sometimes the best thing to do is wait till everything becomes clear.
Oh my God.
And then they're like, well, good night.
Yeah. And then
this could have ended so many times.
Wait for things to become clear. Things to be clear if you actually explain why you have all the opportunities to explain it.
Yes.
You're literally just waiting so you can hook up with her. That's literally what's happening right now.
He's a dirtbag.
Yeah. Moving on to ex-dead late guys. Your partners, well, they weren't partners, but they kind of were,
Yep. And his kids.
Taking the kids too.
Yeah. Just stealing his whole family.
All right, then we got a NOLA transition shot, New Orleans transition shot, and we're back at the hotel. He's extending his stay, and he's just waiting for an important package.
Yeah, he's making Sloan do a lot of work.
Sloan's doing a lot of work.
Because the important package is obviously a new envelope, whatever the contents may be.
Yes. Right. The secret.
He's got to get a new one.
Right.
Last one's in the bayou.
So now we're at Giffendorf's shop here, back at the restaurant, right?
Yep.
And
it's like, why are you even here? She's like, well, it is a work day. And he's like, your house is collapsed. You don't have to be here.
I got people who can do this.
Meanwhile, Nanny Bobby is like, and Nana Bobby is like, well, maybe she missed you. And he's like, you did? And then she's like, what? Which the delivery on all three of those was pretty funny.
It was a great ping pong effect. You did? And it cuts her and she's like, what?
What?
He's like, oh.
Very visibly.
It was very cartoonish. And then we had Nana being really pushy about Zillow and real estate and selling the house. I'm like, all right, lady, lay off.
And then Bessie's like, if we move, how will Santa know where to find us?
He won't, kid.
And Nana's like, well, mommy fills out the Santa request moving form, and then one thing leads to another, and the Santa will be at your new house. It's totally fine. And she's like, but what's wrong with our current house? And Nana's like, oh, everything.
Oh, darling, everything.
Yeah. And then Bray has all these convenient ways to do all this stupid stuff. So does Tucker, because he's always doing this exit where he's like, well, payroll doesn't stop because the power's out. Gotta go.
Exit scene left. What? All right, you just cut the scene, move on.
Yeah, her house just fell down. Shouldn't you be helping or doing something supportive if you actually were in a relationship with her?
Right.
That's probably what you would do.
How can I help with your house? How about we can get the people to take care of this stuff? How about you and I go and let me help out?
Exactly.
And then we get kind of a mini montage thing here with some shitty, sad music that kicks in. Shots of Bray just doing woodwork, spackle, tools, job's done, right? He spots, and then as this all wraps up, he spots some shiny object in the distance, out in out in the bayou.
Yeah. Which I thought was like sheet metal, but it's fiberglass apparently.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I thought it was sheet metal too.
They explicitly say fiberglass later.
Yeah, they do. And I was like, wait, does fiberglass reflect like that? It doesn't matter. Mm-mm. Anyways, so like, I don't think so.
No.
It's not a highly reflective material like that.
Nope.
So he's like, he goes out, he gets this big fiberglass panel thing. He's like, oh, I can use this. And then we get this nice sunset shot.
Yep.
And then we're basically at halfway here, but then we cut to, we're in Nana's house. Yep. And we got
Miranda just like crying in the dark.
Yep. With some wine and a puzzle. I mean,
hey, there's worse ways to spend a Friday. Am I right?
I mean, they definitely are, like in your house with a hole in the roof, you know?
Yeah. Well, exactly. That'd be way worse.
That'd be way worse than all the puzzle
Dry
pieces.
House?
Yeah. Much better. All the puzzle pieces get wet.
Cheeks are a little wet.
At first, I was just crying in front of the puzzle because she lost like a corner piece. That's a terrible offense. And then we cut back to the hotel, and Bray's just running down the street towards the hotel.
Yeah. Inexplicably.
What? I was like, what?
Jogging. Yeah. But like not in jogging clothes.
No, not at all. And then we cut back to him using, which I thought was sheet metal, the fiberglass panel to like patch up the roof. And then we cut back to Miranda, and she had apparently finished the puzzle. The kids have woken up. She finished the puzzle and left a note for the kids being like, where does this piece go?
Yep.
Sad mom finishing a puzzle over wine.
Yep.
So this is the halfway point. And then we're back in Nana's house.
Yep.
Basically the kids just shitting on breakfast.
She made them like over easy eggs and bacon, it looks like, and some gluten-free toast. And they're like, we want cereal. They're like, do you have Cinnamon Toast Crunch? She's like, what?
No. What the hell is that?
This protein is good for your muscly arms. And they're like, what is this bread? And then she's like, gluten-free bread.
What's gluten?
What's a gluten?
Like, stuff that's in food.
Yeah, you don't know. So no one knows, sweetie.
Yeah, stuff that's in food, kid.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Now run along.
That's when Miranda gets the text.
Yes.
House is finished.
Done. Took 3 days.
It's not, because then we cut to him fixing the cabinet.
Yeah, he's like still like working.
Okay.
Like, all right, come on, man. It's like,
did you actually finish?
Is it done? Like,
I played that game too.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. Like, it's all done. Is it though? Like, can you walk away from it and do something else?
Yeah. And then everyone walks in and they're like, whoa, a skylight.
The old fiberglass skylight.
What? Yeah. It's like the worst idea ever. And he's like, well, it's more of a weatherproof Band-Aid. Okay.
And then he starts philosophizing again more, right? About things finding him. He's like, where'd they find? He's like, I don't know. Maybe it just found me. Yeah. And then he drops some Einstein quotes.
Yeah. And
one of the kids is like, is that the MC squared guy? Yep, close enough. But that's him. That's
sure
right.
is, boy.
What was it? It wasn't coincidence. And Miranda, meanwhile, is like, it was just a coincidence. He's like, no, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous, which, what?
Yeah. What? Which Einstein did say.
Well, hopefully someone did their homework.
However. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's stupid. It's dumb. He's just saying things to say things and sound smart.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. Ugh. What can you do?
So then,
like, I do love Bobby has like another, you sure you're not from California after that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you get a quick throwaway from Greg where he's like, wait, so you're saying the magnet in your head is what connected you to the piece of fiberglass? Like, all right. Like,
can we just,
like, they do have a little bit of alone time critically at the end here, right? That's kind of important.
Yes.
Is that where you're getting to?
Yeah, that's where I was heading towards. But yeah. Because the son asks about the envelope and he's like, what's in it? And he's like, grown up stuff, kid. Shut up.
But definitely something good. And you're like, my mom could have used that 3 days ago.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like,
what are you doing?
Like this is like the most like manipulation of a situation that just to get what you want. That's not positive thinking. That's called manipulation. So
yeah, it's very frustrating.
don't use things you have of power to like hold back till you could give to someone and be like, all right, this is the exchange of whatever.
Right.
Okay. And then we got Miranda and Bray chat. Right. He's like, why have you helped? She's like, why have you helped us out so much? And he's like, we collided for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a quick phone call from Tuck. He's like, hey, taking everyone out for dinner. Hell, bring Bobby. Fuck it. Bring your ex late dead husband's mother.
We love her.
To her newest adopted sons, whatever. So she comes back, and then he's like, hey, you know what? I can remove that tree in front of your carport too, so you can get your minivan out there, start kicking ass again. And then this is a great line where Nana's like, whoa, Tucker can do this. Tuck using a chainsaw? Come on now.
Yeah, no way.
Tuck is a cuck. He cannot handle a chainsaw.
That's right. And he's like, all right, well, if you don't mind me chainsawing your log, I could really use the firewood.
Chainsaw.
She's like, what? And then she says, yeah, deal. You have a deal? I'll make the coffee this time. Right?
That's it.
So
yeah.
Then we get to dinner. Tucker's like, oh, thank you so much for everyone doing all of the work at this business. That's not me. And, storm really rattles your business and your life. And I've always wanted a family. So,
oh my God,
fuck it. Will you marry me?
In front of the family, the kids, the grandmother, whatever, Nana, and the entire staff of the restaurant.
And the kids look panicked, like before he even says it.
They knew it was coming. They're like, oh, no.
And then Bobby claps. The only one goes, oh, okay.
Great.
And the ring doesn't fit. And he's just like, we'll fix it later. And the kids look devastated.
Yeah, it's very awkward, but she says yes.
Yeah, it's wicked funny.
And around in the parking lot, party's over, we're heading out. And then Tuck's like, hey, where's the minivan?
Bobby's like, well, her handyman's going to chop up the log tomorrow.
Let's go easy there, Southern lady. Relax with the...
Real handy with the man stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Tuck, are you handyman? Are you? Yeah. Can you handyman?
Take care of that log.
Tuck's like, oh, interesting. And Miranda's like, he's not a handyman, lady.
I can read between the logs.
Yeah. Bobby, why don't you go home and just disappear for a long time? We're not even connected anymore. Your son's dead. Yeah. And Anna's like, well, you know what? I'll take the kids. I'll watch them because you guys can have a little
celebration.
Yeah. Spend a night together. Next day, Tuck's place, dope looking apartment. Like
right before they leave, the kids are all just like, oh, congrats, Mom.
Oh, the saddest congratulations ever. And she's like, oh, thank you. I was like, no.
So bleak.
Yeah, so bleak. The kids know.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day we're at Tuck's place, and Tuck's got a dope place.
Fancy New Orleans mansion.
Yeah.
Like penthouse.
So stuff from the trailer though. So he's like, hey, come over here. I gotta show you some. They go to the window, and he's like,
look under your chair.
Look under your chair. What do you see? It's a new car.
And then, but I love how he sets it up because he's like, what would the neighbors think with you driving around that ratty minivan?
I was like, is that like their attempt to make him be like, all right, maybe he's the asshole. You don't want to root for him, but it was like,
I think so, yeah.
But it wasn't enough.
He just doesn't. He's not with it.
Yeah,
he's not picking up the hints here.
Yeah.
And so they go outside and look at the car, and he's like, it's not too small, like the ring, right? And she's like, I'll fix it. Relax. And she's like, I got to run some errands before the party. And he's like, what? What party? And she's like,
yeah.
You probably don't remember because you were a little busy last night for trying to propose to me. But
yeah.
Missy's having a big party. It's a super exciting thing. And there's a competitive party that has food trucks. And he's like, I'll get her food trucks. And she's like, no.
That's not the point.
Yeah. He's like, what should I get her? And she's like, just a card. And he's like, that says what?
And she like totally blows him off. Like, it's like, you were literally getting into your brand new car, this new Land Rover he bought you. The window's still up. And she's like, a card, like through the window, like roll down the window. What's going on here? Like,
shut the door.
Yeah. See ya. Get out of here, Tuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just not thoughtful. That's his problem. He's just a little clueless. He also, if you're gonna be new dad, I know you're doing this whole thing of proposing, but if you're gonna be new dad, you can't forget the oldest daughter's birthday party.
Right?
Yeah. Not a safety tip, but
the next day.
Just a general common knowledge. Don't forget. Yeah, when it's the next day, like don't overshadow the oldest daughter's birthday party with
Sweet 16.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
Not a safety tip. That's just common sense. Like, don't.
Have you been in the 80s? You know how important 16th birthdays are?
Yeah. Don't overshadow it with like the proposal the day before. Like, So he's just an idiot. Yeah. A rich idiot, though.
That's right.
All right. So Rebecca.
Make the world go round.
Yeah, that's right. Batteries. Yeah. It's good for the economy. So Rebecca. So we're back at the Miranda house here. Bray's just cutting up a tree, and then
yeah, he's just chopping up the log.
Yep, just doing my job here. And then we cut to like Greg coming out of the garage, just smashing something and running away.
Yeah.
And then they hang out by the dock. Greg, Bray comes down. He's like, "Hey, man."
The dialogue is infuriating because
my God.
Bray's like, "Want to talk about it?" Greg's like, "No." He's like, "Which part?" And he's like, what do you mean, which part? He's like, "Well, you want to talk about the two things, the reason that you're pissed or the thing that you just threw away?" And he's like, "None."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Then you want to talk about the third thing?"
It's like, are you an engineer or are you like a psychologist? Like these are like questions like you lead in from like a psychologist. Like,
my guess is the reason you're upset is your mom got engaged, and whatever was in the box that you just threw away, you're just taking it out on that, right? Did it deserve it?
Like he's like being the ultimate dad to the point where you're going to slap him. You're like, you're actually being a good dad. God damn you.
Yeah, and he's like, "Whatever, it was just a stupid invention." And you're like, "Wait, it was an invention? What are you doing?"
Which, by the way, what did it actually do? Did it just threw cat food across the room? Because that's all I saw.
I think it put cat food in the bowl, Russ.
When he got it set up, it looks like it just shot it across the fucking room.
It did do that.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna get that right now because now we're in the garage. Son shows off the invention. He's like, he wanted to make the invention to make money so mom didn't have to marry Tucker. That was the line.
Yeah, if it worked, mom wouldn't have to marry Tucker. Incredible.
Oh, kids. They're so stupid.
Bray's like, "Well, let me just do a little engineering on it. Hang on. Increase the tension here.
Screw there.
It works.
Oh, look at that. A little lever pull here. A little, okay. Well, this there.
You know about levers, right, boy? Anyone ever tell you about Newton?"
He's got some good quotes. So then, he does some magic. He does some magic and fixes the invention, and and it just shoots cat food across the floor.
And you get all the stuff from the trailer, right?
Yeah. Bray's like, "Hey, your dad only wanted him to be happy." And he's like, "How'd you know?" And he's like, "Because dads are like that."
Infuriating.
Yeah, it's an easy cop out.
And then Missy sees Bray packing up the truck now outside, and she's like, "Hey, why are you so nice to us? Are you my new dad?" And he's like, "Well, you get what you give." And she's like, "Well, not in high school."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Which would you rather have? 200 Instagram friends or 5 real friends?" And she's like, "Real friends." Are all your real friends coming to the party tomorrow or tonight?
Are you sure about that? I mean, 200 Instagram friends sounds, I don't know, pretty
enticing,
dope, right? Pop quiz, asshole. 200 Instagram friends or 5 real friends. 5 real friends sounds so dramatic.
Trick question. I can have both.
Trick question. It's called multitasking, you idiot.
And she's like, "Well, yeah, I guess my real friends are coming to the party." And he's like, "So what do you really want?" And she's like, "Taffy." I thought you were going to say my dad back or like anything reasonable. Taffy.
Classic Taffy move.
Yeah. And he's like, "You got firewood so you can make s'mores and stuff." Goes, "How do you know about s'mores?"
Like, what?
And he's like, "You don't get this old without living."
Okay.
What does that mean? What does that have to do with s'mores?
So then mom.
Speaking of rotting teeth,
yeah, right.
Miranda shows up.
Root Canal Miranda. She comes blazing in her new Land Rover. "What up, motherfuckers?"
And Bray's like, "I guess congrats on," well, I was going to say your engagement, but also the Land Rover.
The new car. And then the daughter, Missy there, she basically forces Bray to stay for the party. You got to stay. You're staying to the party. And she just runs away. All right. Okay. I guess that's happening.
Yep.
And then we get Miranda Bray. Miranda's like, "I don't understand what's happening here." And she goes on about not knowing how to be happy anymore. And
"Is this better? What's better than nothing? I don't understand." And he's like, "Oh, actually, there's this thing I've been meaning to talk to you about." And she's like, "All right, we've got a party." Like,
"Yeah, you're invited. Come on to the party." Like, God damn it. Can you just...
And then did you write this down? Because I think she said, "You're the eye of the storm here anyway."
Yes.
What does that mean?
That's where it's clear. So
I know that, but how did that apply in this situation?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like overall, right? He's been kind of like the clear, like the clearing of all the shitstorm that's going around in her life.
Does it? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I think I get it. Stupid. Hate it.
It's
And he's like, okay.
We got Nana watch. Oh, I love this. So then we got Nana. Meanwhile, inside, Nana watching.
This is funny too. Bessie has like the best lines.
She's
in the movie.
Hands down has the best lines. So Nana's watching like this whole conversation go on from inside. And it's like, and Bessie's sitting there probably drawing horses again or terribly, whatever. And Nana looks like she's just scheming, right? And then Bessie's like, hey, what you doing, Nana?
What you doing?
And she's like, watching your mama. She's like, why? Because that's what you do when you love someone. Bessie drops the line, well, I'm going to watch you watch them. Is like one of my favorite.
Hilarious.
Yeah, great line. Also, one of my favorite pastimes, watching other people watch other people.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good. It's so good.
And then Nana immediately shuts it down. I'm all done watching anyway. You're like, oh, you're an awful Nana.
Jesus, right? Dies her cigarette on the kids, drawing.
Yeah. And speaking of her being an awful Nana, she's also an awful person.
Yes.
Because then this scene happens.
So we're back inside, mostly stuff from the trailer, but Nana's just being like level, I would say Cat 4 obnoxious here.
How lucky are you that any man would want you? And the thing that wasn't in the trailer that I'm glad was in the movie is Miranda's like, that's an awful thing to say.
Yeah.
but she follows it up with, why? It's true.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
3 kids,
that's hardcore.
Debt. Like, what?
Yeah, so brutal. And she's like, you're making me sound like a charity case. And she's like, well, you are kind of a charity case. Don't blow this.
She's like, what's the problem? I just don't want you to. Very long pause. Cut back to her. Blow this. Why was that cut like that? Why was that edited like that? Why was that set up like that? Why would you use those words? Because it literally just cuts back and she's like, blow this. Like, God damn it.
And then she and then it's even weirder because then she just goes on. She's like, well, nobody ever said life was easy. And Miranda's like, I don't want it to be easy. I want it to be worth it. Ugh. And like, when are you going to stop making everything about loss or fear? Like, live a little bit. Your son's fucking dead. Who cares now?
Fuck him and fuck you. You get on the wrong flight. It's not my fault.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And then like Saved by the Greg, and he's like, Mommy, come check out what I built. I have an invention.
Yeah, tosses cat food all over the place. Cool.
She's like, excuse me, my son has an invention that tosses cat food all over the place. I have to go.
I have to go. We don't have a cat, but maybe someday we will. That'll clean it all up. Oh my God. So then we're down at the dock, the boat, down at the dock of the bay. And we got Miranda.
Which I was confused because I was like, isn't the party imminent?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we're at the restaurant. Yeah. So we cut to the restaurant. Right. And she's by the fisher boat there, the fisherman's boat there. And
Tucker's just like, Taffy? Like, that's kind of like how it opens. And she's like, well, yeah, you're going to get a little sticky. Like, there's a taffy thing we're doing. That's really all she ever wanted. And by the way, Bray's coming to the party too.
And Tuck feeling mega jealous.
I love this scene. The dialogue is so dumb. It makes no sense. He's just like, dressed as what? A clown? It's weird having that guy there. And he's like, first he's helping himself to this and that. And now he's helping himself to my fiance.
Oh, Tuck. Now you're looking like the clown. Easy, Tuck.
Yeah. I love where he's like, Bray's coming to the party. Dressed as what? A clown? And I was like, why does he have to be dressed as something? Like, what a weird setup for yourself that you didn't pay off very well.
Yeah, he just made himself look like an idiot there. You're just making things worse, right? It's
you played
jealousy.
Yourself.
Yeah, you played yourself there, bud. All your clown talk is making you look like a clown. Mm-hmm. And then we're back at the hotel, and we got Bray hanging, drinking on his view, on his porch of the view, because he probably killed someone to get it, because as we know from the beginning.
That's right. They checked out early under suspicious circumstances. I added that last part. But
yeah, he gets stabbed in the face. All right, so then we get more flashback time, right? And this is where we get the full-on plane crash.
Yeah.
He's surviving, climbs out, grabs some blankets, whatever, a hat, and bundles himself up. We got a safety crew comes and saves him. We're like, we got this guy still breathing over here.
Mm-hmm. Lone survivor, apparently.
And then we cut down to like him down in like the patio area, and Sloan drops off important documentations from FedEx.
And then he's like, do you have a manila envelope and a pen also? You're like, you're asking so much of Sloan. Like, go to Rite Aid, get a manila envelope.
Do it yourself. All right.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself. How about you positive? Well, I guess he is positive thinking himself into getting these things. Because
he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's a mind controlled jerk.
That's right.
And then we get them texting back and forth, Miranda and Bray, and texting deets about
Miranda
the party.
Getting a little flirty.
Dropping the heart at the end of a text.
Too early.
And he's like, he starts going the heart emoji return, but then he's like, no. Thumbs up. As most people know, that is my preferred response to most things. It's just thumbs up.
Perfect pivot.
Okay, so we're at the house, Miranda house party montage setup, kind of.
Which no one's at the party yet, which I think is good because the party hasn't started. But Missy is upset.
She's like, no one's here, and she just runs off because no one's started yet.
Just ground me for life.
It's the worst. Shut up, teenagers. You're stupid too.
Her delivery's terrible.
Yeah. And we get the whole team getting things ready, right? We got the Tuck cake. Oh my goodness.
Legendary.
Tuck. I mean, he got a cake made of the new family photo of him and the family from the night before at the at the proposal dinner, at his company there, his restaurant. And it's on the cake and it says happy birthday, Missy.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm pretty confident it's safety tip 128.
Yeah, I was gonna okay. Yeah.
When you get a new family, don't print out the picture from last night and put it on the cake for the Sweet 16 party the next day.
And Miranda's like, oh, nice. So they got 2 cakes.
Yeah.
Double cakes. I mean, you really only need.
We have 2 cakes.
Right. You really need 1 cake. Thanks, Tuck.
Yeah, you really helped. I told you to bring a card.
Card, not a cake.
Card.
I know they're 4-letter words, but.
And it's supposed to say happy birthday, you idiot. It's a birthday party.
Then we go around the yard there. Bray, he's, stacking that wood he cut up nicely and building a fire. And then friends show up.
Yeah, it all works out.
Yeah, everything's working out. Missy's still freaking out. Because whatever, she's 16, that happens.
Yep. So then cut to outside making taffy. It's taffy time. This is, I think, the first time I actually heard all of the children's names. And I was like, wait, Missy, Bessie, and Greg?
MBG.
Insane. And then Miranda does all this knowledge drop and bombs about her, what she wanted. She's like, I went to college and I wanted to be a nurse.
Yeah.
He's like, no, but you're an awesome mom to these kids and hopefully again soon.
That's Tuck. Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Whoa, Tuck.
I don't know what's a bigger faux pas, printing the picture from yesterday on the cake or telling the kids you're going to make their mom pregnant soon.
At the Sweet 16 birthday party in front of all these other 16-year-old kids. Tuck, you're not doing too good right now. Yeah, you're
overplayed his hand.
Yeah, you're leaning in too hard here, buddy.
I love it.
Then we got we go inside. We got Nana, Bobby there, going on about Maddie's invention here. Maddie Wells, her son, right?
She's like, did you know about this project? And she's like, yeah, of course I did. That's why he was on the plane, the damn plane, and yada yada yada.
That's why he's dead.
She's like, oh, you mean Bray's invention?
Bum, bum, bum.
It was on page 2.
It was on page 2. Yeah, someone clicked one more page.
Your handyman was at the same convention as my son, and he stole my son's invention.
I'm going to kill him.
Ask him about it.
Ask him.
And then I love the confrontation because Miranda storms outside and is
confronts Bray,
just waving this piece of paper in his face, being like, is this what I think it is? And you're like, I can't see it. What? I can't see it. And he's like, yep.
Yep.
Instead of being like, I can't see what you do. Let me show it. What are you doing?
Show me. Okay, closer. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's him. So me and your husband, we met in Vegas, had a few drinks, went to a couple clubs. He had an idea. I was like, you know what? I can help you with that. Mm-hmm. He explains the whole thing, and then he's like, yeah, I may have been on a plane that your husband died on. I may have also been sitting next to him.
And she's just like, the guy who survived?
Yes. I may have used him as a flotation device. These are all,
I may have eaten his face.
I may have eaten a limb, a finger or two. It was a short period. It wasn't much.
Yeah, the cheeks were delicious.
But I'm here to bring him back to you through me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So yeah, she slaps
because of a miracle.
Because of a miracle, right? Because miracle on ice. So she slaps him. We have this little confrontation. He tries to explain himself out of the situation. Doesn't really work. And then she's like, you gotta get out of here. And then that's when Tuck is like, you heard the lady. Move along.
You gotta go.
You can't eat my soon-to-be wife's ex-late dead husband and show up to the party, and
that's right.
You gotta go
with the family cake.
With a family cake. And
oh wait, you can do that
because it's already happened.
She's not telling me to go.
Tuck's like giving him middle fingers as he goes.
That's right.
Anyway, so we're back at the hotel, and we got Bray checking out, and he asks Sloane. Sloane just doing. She's done so much work. She's been great. He asked her to have the envelope delivered. And she's like, okay.
Can you have a messenger deliver this? And I don't mind paying for last night. Charge it to the card of the room, and also do this and that, and do 10 other things.
Yeah.
By the way, good luck with the LSATs.
Yeah. And then she's like,
can you see yourself being a lawyer?
And she's like, yeah, I can.
I think I can. Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I can too. All right. And then that's it. And she's like,
bye.
And
then we cut to Miranda in bed. Seems like she had a rough night. Greg's here. He's like, Mom, there's a girl here with a package.
Yeah.
and Sloane comes in. He's like, you know what? That guy, so handsome and so nice.
Yeah, he was like a McConaughey.
I make him pay for a messenger. Right? Yeah, I'll just do it myself. Then basically Miranda. Greg's like, wait, is that the thing? That's the thing from the whole time? From like the last week?
This is it.
And she's like, what are you going on about?
What are you talking about, kid?
And he's like, oh, well, I'm not supposed to talk to strangers, but Bray told me it was about this thing a few days ago, and it was awesome.
I'm so sorry. I think I up. Yeah, kid, you did.
Yeah, you sure did.
Sure did. It's the patent details for better energy or whatever. And a check for, guess what? I think the exact amount that they're in debt for.
Exactly. Probably.
Because she sees the check, the royalty check, and she's like, whoa, it's 104,600, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, wait a second, that number sounds familiar. Because when you're in debt, you know how much, well, not really, you don't know how much because you're in debt.
More or less.
Yeah, but as soon as she runs back to her notepad where she's got all of her things on there, bills, blah, 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 104,696. Holy smokes. World is positive thinking.
So then now we cut to sitting on the bed explaining to the children what happened, which is also funny.
Yes.
She's like, now, kids, this could be the first check of many. And Bessie's like, am I getting a pony?
No.
But we do need to talk about the future.
Well, actually, she is going to get a pony, but not right now.
She goes on about, she's like, when Tucker proposed, adults know you're supposed to do that in private. And they're supposed to discuss it with you first. And
I love
Missy's
this line.
Like, well, you're the one that has to sleep with him, so... And her response is, that's not the point, but thank you. And so they're all just like, what do you want?
Oh my God.
And if you don't know, how can you ask for it?
All the Bray sayings, the Brayisms are coming back right now, if I may. Yeah. Brayisms, they're all coming back right now. All the kids are using them against Mom. And she's realizing,
And she's like, you don't get a pony, but Missy does get a computer, a sweet new MacBook with the lasers that you can do.
No, don't do lasers.
Every time.
Well, then what happens? Are we back at a restaurant? Are we outside? So we're at a restaurant in town.
Basically,
right?
Yeah. We're at somewhere in New Orleans, and she's like, you know what? Why don't we just skip lunch and get ice cream instead? Because this place is too crowded.
Well, she wanted to bring him to the restaurant where she used to work or something like that. She's like, oh, I'm kind of bummed. I want to show you where I used to work, whatever. And more Brayisms coming in. Like Greg is
Greg's
no.
Wait a second. Ray told me that running backs see the spot where you're supposed to run, and then they run through it, and that's how they get touchdowns.
Yeah.
And so I think we should just wait a second.
Yeah.
And then the hostess comes out and's like, I don't know, that dad forgot his wallet, so I guess there's a table.
That family just died right at the table. We're clearing them out. You guys want
touchdown?
I like the idea of all the positive thinking ends up in someone dying so you can get into that spot. I think that's a better thing.
Awesome.
I feel like that's a movie, right? Probably.
Oh, it's definitely a movie, yeah. So then on the way home, they find the mailbox in the water, and it has the envelope in it.
Spot it. They're still in the Land Rover, by the way, because she hasn't traded in yet. But yeah, they spot it shining from the water, and it's got the envelope in it, and shot from the trailer.
Yep, and it's got the note from Bray on the outside of the envelope that's like, I should have told you, which is apparently what he was going to say at the beginning when he should have told her, which is kind of stupid, but
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So anyway, same thing, but that just confirms that he wasn't full of shit. So
exactly. So then we cut to Bray at his home with his sister wife. He's in the kitchen doing some dishes. He's looking at his phone. He's like, oh, maybe I should call that girl Miranda. And basically his sister doesn't do the dishes and he's rip shit about it, but whatever. Nothing to do.
Fine. Don't do the dishes. All right. Back at the Miranda house.
Bessie.
She screwed up because she dropped her horse.
It got smashed and her fingers are stuck together forever with Super Boo, which is also pretty funny.
What a great transition. Not only did you kill your horse by smashing it on the floor, by dropping it, but you also glued your fingers
together. You tried to fix it. Yes. Fucked up. Glued your fingers together.
Because remember, kids are stupid, and that's great.
That's right. And so she's like, well, it's, I don't know if we can put it back together. We might have to get a new horse. And then we cut downstairs, like she's having a snack or something. I don't know. Miranda's like going down to get a late night snack, and Missy's already there. And she's like, dead pony. Yep.
Yep. You know it.
And she's like, remember that time I stuck corn up my nose? And her mom's like, are you okay?
And then she immediately goes, I've been thinking about Bray. How is that connected?
There's a lesson here. I don't know. And it's like, it's about the taffy. I wouldn't have thought of taffy. It wasn't for that guy. Then there's another like non sequitur where she's just like, look at that skylight. It's totally good night moon in here, is what Missy says. And you're like, what?
You're like 16. You don't know what
it says. What does that even mean? And then basically she's like, you're a good kid. And she's like, you should call that guy. Yeah. And I love this other line. This is where I was saying Missy has the worst lines in the movie and the worst delivery of them too. Cause she's like, the Sibs and I were talking. You were so much more relaxed with that guy. The Sibs?
The Sibs.
Excuse me? Oh, we're saving the ski resort?
What? Yeah. We're looking here. That's not.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. She could just go do your homework, right?
She's just trying to convince him that she liked that guy. Yeah. We kept to Bray teaching.
Yeah, we got kind of like a mini misconnection montage here. We got him teaching and then her like...
We can steamroll through this, probably.
Yeah, hanging out the dock. She's like wanting to text him but doesn't, right? And then we cut to the cemetery scene from the trailer where she's just like visiting her ex-late dead husband, Matt there. And she's like, you're my hero. You're everyone's hero. You're the kid's hero. And we cut to Frodo Dorf's shop there. And Miranda comes in, chats with Tuck, and he's just like...
Did you go to the dentist?
She's like, no.
Here's the ring.
I can't afford it yet. Well, actually, I can because I just got a $100,000 check. I can't marry you. Here's the ring. Here's the keys. Car's out back. And Tuck, actually, he's like, you know what? It's like, should I yell at you? Does that change your mind? No, it won't. She's like, okay, well, hey. She's like, so this probably means I can't work anymore. He's like, yeah, you're fired.
Yeah, this dialogue's also awful.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
I should probably quit. Yeah. Thank you.
That's probably what you should do. But also, you have royalty checks rolling in, baby. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, and maybe she's gonna marry this rich guy. Let's hang on.
And then we cut to Nana's house, and we got Miranda telling Nana basically the whole story about Bray, and he's not a bad guy, and blah blah blah, and all is good. And then she just throws in the old like, I dropped the tuck. Because
she's like, but why? Sweetie, why?
And she's like, no, I'm going back to school to go to nursing school because this is what I want. Know what you want, see what you want, be what you want.
Wish it wanted to do it.
Harder, faster, stronger. And then she's like, oh, can you watch the kids this weekend? Because I'm going to go on a road trip to check out the grad programs. I was like, let me guess.
And then there's like a stupid couple throwaway lines here too. Because then she's like, I don't know. You probably think this whole second chance thing is stupid. And Bobby's like, you'd be wrong. And you're like, wait. Are you not a villain character?
Yeah, like the whole time you were against like...
just the worst.
All right, so we got a Bray transition shot. Him at Vanderbilt, class is wrapping up, him checking his phone. He kind of rushes out quickly. And we cut to the Bray house and Miranda shows up. She's knocking on the door. And we finally get the details about this other woman who I think we all knew wasn't actually the girlfriend. It's his sister.
Super fancy mansion. Yeah. Yep. And she's like, I'm looking for Bray. And he's like, well, he's out of town. I had to take care of some business. You want to leave a message? And she's like, no, I was just in town. And you know what? Actually, tell her Miranda Wells was in town. And she's like, what? You're Miranda Wells? What? You're the reason he's not here. I'm his sister. We're getting to the end of the movie. He's probably knocking on your front door right now.
It's not going to be a run to the airport. It's going to be a run to a Waffle House.
So we cut to like quick at her home. He is knocking on the door. And you're like, oh man, Bobby's going to answer it. The whole thing.
They're all in different spots.
Then they cut to car phone talking.
Yeah. And they basically explain
different cars.
Yeah, different cars, but driving on. Yeah. And they just missed each other. And he's like, oh, I got to catch up with Bobby and clear the air. And she was like, oh, I got to chat with your sister and your sister wife and clear that up.
Yeah. Everything worked out.
Yeah. Everything is good. And he's like, hey, you want to meet for a coffee? And he's like, how about a coffee and a waffle? And I was like, my first thought when he said waffle, I was like, they're going to meet at a effing Waffle House, aren't they?
I thought that too. Yep.
I mean, where else are you going to meet up for?
Where else would you say?
Yeah, for coffee and a waffle at that time. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure enough.
And he's like, I particularly like these ones in Tuscaloosa that we should both reach right around sunup. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then she's like, what's a few more hours when it's taken me this long to realize that I can have anything I want? And he's like, don't hang up, baby. And so they talk, apparently, until they get to
the Waffle
House where they're going to make themselves a waffle home.
Yes. I love that this movie almost ends in a Waffle House. He basically worked his way into
just like
widower family.
I was gonna say, yeah, they like kind of just like look at each other and then they're like, you look good. And he's like, yeah, you also good. And then they just like mumble at each other and like hold hands. And then they kiss too much. And you're like, this is gross.
In front of
Waffle House.
In front of Waffle House. Which, by the way, at the same time, I'm sure there's a drug deal going on like right at the corner.
Hopefully, yeah, in a perfect world.
And then we get the wrap up. We get the wrap up.
We cut to our little old house is for sale here. The shitty house with the skylight.
Yeah. Bobby
because
Bobby Brown there selling the house. And then family moved in. The family moved into Tennessee with the Brays, with the Bray family.
That was quick.
Yeah.
They're decorating the Christmas tree.
I guess that's to show like how much time has passed. Hurricane season to Christmas time. That's probably like 3-4 months, 6 months.
It's at least a month or two. Yeah.
And then Christmas time and hey, something's here. And the whole family runs outside and Bray literally got Bessie a horse.
It's a fucking pony. I knew it.
And I was like, is this
they're just regular rich people now?
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of like how the movie ends. They're just like, well, actually, we are rich people.
We got a horse.
They all just like literally, they all just smile and pet the horse, and that's the end of the movie.
And then from there, we pull out to the globe, to the worlds, to the Earth. There's no storm, and then we pull out even further, and we're passing all the planets and the sun. We're getting billions upon billions of stars, and we're all the way outside the galaxy. We're into space,
outside the galaxy, even.
Yeah, we go past. We even go further out. And really, in my mind, I was like, that's just to remind you that you don't matter, and we're just specks of dust. So
at best, nothing matters.
That's what we both got out of this movie. Nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. Just remember that. So
the power of positive thinking.
Nothing matters. I think we're on the go so far negative that it becomes positive. Where nothing matters so far that you don't care anymore.
Yep. 17 negatives make a positive.
That's right. Jesus Christ. Well, okay. Let's Jared and Russ ameliorate because let's get this done.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah. I don't have much to correct here. Delete it. Just delete it. Whoever made the movie, like you have the files.
Yep. Just
delete the masters.
Just
whatever that is.
Let's get a Control A and then delete, and then I click on yes. Are you sure? I'm positively sure.
I'm not a fan of destroying the arts. Book burning is bad. However, burn this movie. Yeah. Maybe burn The Secret too. I don't know.
I think my biggest problem is like whose movie is this? Like it was like is it Bray? It felt like it was Bray's movie. It was him like switch to POV, like make it like because it's not hers. It's not hers at all. Right. She's just kind of like at the whim of him and this guy who's manipulating this whole situation to get what he wants. Basically, he doesn't give her the information he should have given her right off the bat. Because he's got a crush on her. He finds some cosmic reason because he's in love with her. Ugh. Bullshit.
Classic.
Give her the information that's important to her. Like, this is important. Give it to her. So that's
3
annoying.
days ago.
Yeah, 3 days ago. That's annoying. So, but figure out who. Like, it really is Bray's story. It's him like surviving this plane crash and him finding this new lease on life and being like, oh, I should think more positive because you know what, life can end like that.
Yeah,
because
her story is boring, so I agree. Refocus it entirely. Right? Show us the plane crash. That stuff's cool. Show us the inventor Tell us about the invention.
Right, like a little bit more of that, other than like some scribbles on some pads there, or whatever.
Right,
but I think
it's an energy thing. You're like, oh, okay,
sure. Same. Or I would say also like focus. If you're not going to do that, then focus more on her and how she succeeds without Bray. Like, sure, he can come in and give her this positive thinking to change her life, but like have her do it. Don't have him be the one who's like making the change for her. Like at the end of the day, like it's basically like, oh, you need a person in your life to be happy. That's basically what this is.
Pretty much.
Bullshit.
Terrible.
Like show her changing from being a negative character. I mean, they kind of do, but not really, because at the end of the day, it's still her just relying on him being the positive person in her life.
Right. Which, go watch Love and Gelato. Like,
right?
Find yourself.
And what is the secret? Is it just positive thinking? Is that it? See it, be it, believe it, receive it.
So wish it, want it, do it. Harder, better, faster, stronger.
And the other thing too, like this entire movie is just his positive thinking getting him ahead. And I guess he helps her out, but basically it's like, all right, move into my house. I got money.
Right. Yeah.
Like
stupid. It's wrapped up too neatly.
Yeah. Yeah. And
like, well, you were my partner's wife, and now you're my wife. Good.
And now you're my wife. Good. Yeah. I've succeeded. I have taken not only his invention, but now he's going to marry this. Now he's going to marry this woman and then get royalty checks because he's going to be like, right?
Yeah. He's going to get the mother-in-law too, I think.
He's got the family. He's now got the invention. And now he's married to the woman who owns the patent for the invention. Right.
He positive thought it.
He's just a con man, I think.
Definitely.
I don't know what else. What do you got? Anything? I'm sorry. I was all fired up.
Wrap it up.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I stand by delete the movie.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
I hope we were able to give you a lot of positive thoughts to think about going forward.
That's right.
Be positive out there. We'll be back next week, though, with a new movie. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram at It's This Means That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. We're on YouTube. Same name. Mm-hmm. Subscribe to us where you're listening, and be a friend. Share it.
Yeah.
Positively share it.
Or be positive about us on Line to Strangers. Write a review. 5 stars would be nice, maybe. Nice comment. Maybe a mean comment, as long as it's with 5 stars. It's fine, too.
We're okay with negativity. We're fine with it.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Because you know what? Sometimes the bad leads to good.
The bad does often lead to the good.
I'm taking a little Brayism right there. Sometimes the bad things lead to good things. So
send us an email. Tell us about your bad things that have turned into good things. Tell us your life story if you want. I'm sure it's interesting. Make us laugh or smile or cry.
Yeah.
It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. I'll eagerly await for that. If you don't want to do any of those things, way less work, just go to the website and consume more. There's merch. There's Russ's book. There's old episodes. Such content for days, literal days, actually, at this point. Yeah. Hundreds of hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Can feel it. Yeah.
So check it out. It's thismeetsthat.com.